Never miss another live stream again. Hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and click see all notifications. What's the motherfucking deal? Sauce Nation, how are y'all feeling this evening? And if you are new to this, not true to this, welcome to Sauce Sports. If you're not familiar with Sauce Sports is a Houston, Texas homer network. So that means we're talking all sports, but only Houston. And tonight we're going to talk about a couple of things. As y'all already know, it's Wednesday, so it's motherfucking me Wink Wednesday. You got Wink in the house. How you feeling this evening, Wink?
Man, what's going on, man? Just waiting on this goddamn food truck to come so some good news can happen for the Texans.
Already. Let's see what we got in the mix, man. Y'all know how we start this thing off, man, with the motherfucking roll call, so we can show y'all a little bit of love. If you from the city, man, shout out your side with pride. If you're not from the city, then, you know, at least let us know where you're from so we can send a little bit of love out wherever you located. We can shoot some love in your direction. But let's see who we got in the mix. We got Wise, J-Pac, Miss Voodoo C, Tony Texas, your boy Anthony. J-Dog got timed out already. They have double timed out.
I know, right?
Damn,
what's going on, your boy Anthony? What's going on?
Already. Nigward. Okay, that's what's going down. Mr. Killer. Oh, fuck all the Warriors fans. I'm with it. The Coon. Okay, y'all be killing me with these names. I swear to God. I mean,
damn, what the hell J-Dog, the boss, talking about? He must be going ham in the comment section.
Yeah,
like.
Probably, it looked like it was spamming some shit. Yeah, spamming a bunch of shit. Yeah.
What's good, Wise? What's good, El Lobo?
Yeah. DeMarcus, what's the motherfucking deal? Jay Dizzle, Voodoo, already. Samuel Coon, Real Family, already. Good to see y'all. Gabriel Accord, you know what I'm saying? Dope Chef, what's the motherfucking deal?
Still in FSU.
Already, yes sir. The Lobo been good, man. Already representing. I saw you.
Killer KB, what's good, homie?
I saw y'all feeling that. Heck, y'all got that Friday feeling today. I've been seeing a lot of fuck this and fuck that. I see more fuckums today than I done seen the last few Fridays combined.
Yeah, you really, bro, it really ain't been that in quite some time.
Yeah.
Though. Like a real fucking Friday. Like, I mean, yeah, they been in there, but not like that was what the video was entitled. Because that was had its own little segment. It's kind of been.
Oh, I'm sure it's gonna get real fired up real soon. You know, once this series gets going. So what's up, Mr. Matthew Roberts and Kellum Boys, Jason Ducey? What's the motherfucking deal? Hope all
Kellum
y'all
Boys, what's good, man?
V7 FSU. Yes, fuck Stephen A. Smith. That motherfucker hating not only. This is why I say this is honestly Stephen A. Smith is the reason
why. What did
he
say now?
This is the reason why I had to entitle the video "The Houston Hate Is Real." It's because of Stephen A. Smith, man. Because the other day he was not only hating on the Rockets, he's been doing that all season, so that's expected. But come to find out, I'd like to see, I'm still getting new to the baseball sauce, stirring up some baseball flavors. Come to find out, him and Kellerman are both Yankees fans. I'm sure that's unrelated, but and he was talking about Boston being better than the Astros and, talking all this crazy shit. He really just is very dismissive of sports in the city. And it just kills me, again, like the whole national perspective, because, again, it's not just the Rockets. It's not just the Rockets. It's every team in the city, and especially with, like I say, with the championship, the teams that are close to the championship, with the Rockets and the Astros, there should be none of this nonsense being said. But again, with the Texans, we can kind of see because of where they are, where they've been. They haven't taken that next step to say, okay, hey, this is a team you got to fully respect on this level. They can be. They have the players to be, but just everything hasn't come to fruition. And we'll just have to see how it works out this year. But
exactly.
But the Rockets, real deal, number one seed. You know what I mean? The Astros, 100 wins and fucking win it all. Still get no respect. People acting like they're light years away. And the shit, it just baffles me,
this
man.
Just supposed to, like, anybody could just do what the Rockets just did. Like ain't nobody else being compared, or ain't nobody else in the league that got better odds to win than Houston.
Exactly.
The odds is like 55% or some shit that I seen with some show with Jay Rose and Greeny from Mike and Mike.
Yeah, they got a new show.
Like, man, he was like the Houston finna get washed.
Yeah.
Like they gonna make it feel like they gonna make it look good, but when it comes to the Warriors, when we play them, he was like, bro, y'all can go ahead and hang it up. Like, that's how he felt, and bro, I gotta respect him for that, because at the end of the day, we still gotta prove it.
Exactly. But my thing is this though. I hope the Rockets hear all this shit. I hope this shit fueling they motherfucking Fire. Every team in Tech does get that. Because, honestly, except for maybe the Mavericks. Ain't nobody paying attention to the Mavericks no more. But, yeah, because, Cowboys, they get their share of hate. The Rangers, they definitely get their share of hate. Shit, we get a lot of mutual hate in between fan bases for both of them teams. But, yeah, that early morning show, I don't care for that show. Did you get a chance to really, spend a few minutes watching it with the one with Greeny, Jalen, and
No, I saw it on YouTube because
Okay.
I had to get up early for work this morning. You know what I'm saying? So when I came back early on my lunch break, I was just going through some shit. I was on YouTube and shit. And I saw it then, and I was like, "Damn, that's how you really feel." I mean, honestly, it ain't like we ain't heard that before. You know what I'm saying? Because Chris Paul, he got to prove it. James Harden got to prove it. You know what I'm saying? James Harden been the closest to winning a ship out of both of the two, and he wins in playoffs, on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying? So he's been having some success. I would say the onus should really be on Chris Paul because the impact he's made when he's been in games versus out of games with Houston, he's proven to be the greatest free agent of all time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For Houston, in Houston Rockets history. I love T-Mac.
Yeah.
T-Mac was the greatest addition before that.
Yeah.
But hands down, and T-Mac has been a great player for years and years. I just hate the fact that, he had back and knee problems and shit like that. But they never really got in their toe. Like you say, even when we were winning ships, people were giving us, some credibility, but they were taking it away from us, talking about Jordan was
exactly. As soon as they could, exactly.
Man, come on,
Jordan, but Jordan was there.
Team, bro.
Jordan was there though. Second go round, Jordan was there. He didn't do his job. We showed up. We showed up. We was waiting on him.
Exactly. That was when he came back in 45 and he couldn't even get to the promised land with old ass players on the side. I forgot who gave him problems. I always know teams shit.
I want to say Orlando was it Orlando?
Orlando used to get him problems.
I think Orlando he couldn't get out that year. That's what it was. He couldn't beat Orlando that year. We ended up beating
them. I want to say a team not the Bucks,
you
know what I'm saying, but the Pistons.
The Pistons,
back then
the Pistons.
The
Pacers. He couldn't do shit. Pistons used to run him up out the first. He couldn't do shit with the Pistons, man.
Exactly. MJ only made it there 6 times.
Yeah, and that's what I say. People want to count that, but you got to give Pippen his props for what he could. Because there was no MJ didn't. Well, show me when he did it without Pippen, and then we could talk about some things.
Yeah,
you know
exactly. Show me when he ain't done it with at least 3 all-star talents, period.
Exactly.
Because we can go back to B.J. Armstrong and old buddy that had left from Horace Grant, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He didn't play with players, bro. Especially in the 90s when his mystique really started, because he didn't start in championships until the 90s anyway.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And so everything in the 80s was.
Oh shit. It cut out a little bit. But yeah, man, I was saying I don't know what happened to the.
You weren't Michael Jordan until. Listen, I'm gonna be real, bro. You really wasn't Michael Jordan until Space Jam came. If we being real, honestly, because you had won some championships, then you was just selling J's heavy. You know what I'm saying? People was dying on the streets. You know what I'm saying? And it's just bro, you good. You are one of the greatest basketball players, but I see how people could make cases for other people. Not saying I agree, but I see how other cases could be made.
Absolutely, and that's what I'm saying, man. People just got to understand that was a talented team put together, similar to how this Warrior team is put together. Again, they won some without Durant. Durant just jumped on and amplified it. But my thing is this, and I see somebody say, who was that? Said that Greg Anthony was the first one that picked that they saw today. Your boy Anthony said Greg Anthony was the first one he saw to say that the Rockets would win. Yeah, man, I slipped and accidentally was watching ESPN. Somehow the channel was on there when I cut it on today, and I think it was Sports Center. They didn't redid and revamp Sports Center. It's like Jamel and some other motherfuckers on there, and I don't care for Jamel all that much myself.
And I don't. And let me say something, because I see El Lobo saying something about Californians. I don't know what Californians Everybody I know from California is official. From the people I met in the military, from the people I knew that moved from California to my neighborhood, it don't matter. Everybody I've ever met and came in contact with from Cali been cool. I mean, I don't know who the fuck you be fucking with. Like, nobody's cool from California. Like, come on, bro. Like, we know that's impossible. What you talking about, bro?
Yeah. But look, we do know those. A lot of them Californians are they do have a proclivity to jump on a wagon. You know, they with that Hollywood shit. A lot of them. Everybody. It's always official motherfuckers everywhere. But that's a fact.
I'm gonna be real, bro. Like any. Bro, you wouldn't have go to State Flan unless you was a fan of them when Glenn Rice was playing.
Man, they gonna
like I used to
ask a Golden State fan who that is. They gonna say who?
Yes.
What? Who?
Yeah, exactly. If you didn't watch basketball, and bro, like trading cards, playing basketball games, and just knowing respect, like Glenn Robinson was the truth, bro. Hands down, really. Before Steph got good, who was the best player? Before Steph and this whole team that they got right now came along, who was the best player for Golden State in your opinion?
Ooh. And look, I'm finna fuck it up. Cause I'm just sitting there thinking about it. I can't remember the motherfucking name when you was talking about it. Cause he wasn't there that fucking long, and his name is fucking slipping right now. I hate that fucking shit. Give me 1 second. I gotta fucking
take as much time as you want because it's gonna take a long time. Chris Mullins was okay. Chris Mullins was straight, but he wasn't no greatest of all time. Like, he was straight for, you know, the role he played, but he was never, like, official like that. Nobody was scared of Chris Mullins. He used to get bodied all the time. Sean Kemp used to do him raw back in the gap. Ryan Mullins? I don't remember Ryan Mullins. I remember Chris Mullins. I don't remember Ryan Mullins. Spreewell. Spreewell played for
Spreewell was alright for him.
Spreewell maybe, but
that's kind of what I was thinking, but it's somebody else that it ain't.
Steven Jackson was straight. Yeah. Steven Jackson was straight. You know what I'm saying? But he was better than.
Steven Jackson, real. I fuck with Steven Jackson a long way. That motherfucker gonna keep it all the way real, man. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Golden State really wasn't ever really shit until just recently,
until
man.
Steph and them,
you know, and that's what I'm saying. So that's why a lot of these fans are out of nowhere, dog. When you see motherfuckers in Texas wearing,
they got decent dudes, you know, like David West and Steve Kerr, Iguodala played for him. You know, I mean, we ain't talking about, but I'm going back at what Andrew Bogut, he was trash. You know what I'm saying? Like Nick Young was straight. You know, okay, somebody ever said, you know, you got dudes like Tim Hardaway who played for them, but you know that was at the end of his career when Mitch Richmond used to go hard.
Barron is what I think I was thinking about when you're talking about Baron Davis.
I don't see Barron. I don't see Barron at all. And Barron would have showed up by now. Okay, yes, pretty well. Robert Parrish.
I think the NBA Nation got no love for the Rock. Man, the reason why is this, dog, and I'm telling you this, and y'all got to understand how the media works, and it's like I said, I never really thought it was a thing until just recently, man. The media is way more powerful than you think. Okay, what's the first place? What's the first place people tune in to get sports? I mean, if you woke up and say, man, I need to see what's going on in the world of sports. What's the first thing you finna do? What's the first place you gonna go
to? Me. Of course, I come to our own shit because I always like to rewatch the show.
Yeah.
But like, if we're talking on the national TV, you know, NFL.com.
Yeah.
I mean, NFL Network.
Yeah.
That's like if I'm gonna watch sports, that's like my go-to. I trust people on there more than I trust. Or I go to YouTube. Or I'm on YouTube. I'm on YouTube looking at some other shit, you know, getting some real live, trying to get the best analysis or find the best analysis that I can outside of us. Exactly. Because I like hearing good opinions from whoever has a good opinion. You know, if you just go sit in the comment section and trash other people's opinions when you can't get on camera and put your face on it with your own words, then I mean, it's kind of hard to judge anybody else's opinion when you don't even have the fortitude to do that. You know what I'm saying? So let alone give respect and actually people agree with you. It's a totally different situation when that's happening, you know, but it's just like, it's not that many people out here that's really talking some good sports shit. You know what I'm saying? So Brett Kollmann is straight, but Brett Kollmann don't put out nowhere near enough He don't put out nowhere near enough material as he should. Brett Coleman, honestly, this should be his only job, and he would be making a killing. Like, but you know, I mean, that's just how I feel about it. If Brett Coleman did more video, especially when it came to Houston, like he doesn't do nowhere near enough shit for Houston, and he's a Texans fan, and he like you get like 1 video, 2 video a year,
Yeah.
like. The Will Fuller video that was last year, he tried to go for Brock, for Brock, and you know what I'm saying, bro. He got support, bro. He got damn near 100,000 subscribers on YouTube.
No, I seen him saying on his Patreon though. He trying to get some stuff going because he said he want to go full time, but he was like he had a certain goal he was trying to get to. I forgot how much it was, but he got some people supporting via the Patreon. So
yeah, he making people money too. Because he do like weekly pick'ems and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? So then he making people money, like that's just how it is, bro. When you you're like when people put money in your pocket, bro, you got to give them the content, bro. Yeah. Like it ain't all about that, but at the end of the day, bro, this is fun and this is something you love to do, and you get paid for it. That's just a bonus. Yeah.
So I see people talking about Nick Wright. Yeah, I fuck with Nick Wright. Nick Wright usually hold it down for the city. Kellerman been holding it down for the Rockets. But as far as he's just a hardcore capitalist, that's what I'm talking about, El Lobo.
Shannon do okay, but Shannon kind of been jumping on and off the bridge.
Yeah, now Shannon been he kind of been a Rocket. Last time I seen him, he been anti-Rockets. He been on that Golden State of that LeBron shit. He been on that LeBron shit way too hard. But what I was saying though about as far as you got to look at who controls the media and how powerful the media is. What I was saying though is about most people are going to tune in to ESPN, or they're going to go to Fox Sports 1. Or most people are going to go through their TV. I mean, you got to think about the group, the generation that's slightly older than us because they really kind of missed out on that technology groove. And then everybody younger, they're going to go a different lane. I mean, I think like our generation and below is kind of like we're in that middle where we'll kind of fuck with the TV and we'll fuck with the internet too. I think the people before us are just strictly mainstream media, and then the people after us are strictly internet people.
Like honestly, let's just be real, bro. Honcho, you are far more recognizable than anybody else that's doing anything for Houston sports. And not that you taking all the credit or anything like that, but bro, before we were invited on the platform, bro, you could walk down the street, bro. People either gonna think you Jadeveon Clowney or gonna know you from the show. One way or another, bro, people are gonna be walking up to you and asking you about something. So it's already noticeable enough. You know what I'm saying? That you got the best show period. Like we can say that, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we in it together. We building something together. We know it's live, and at the end of the day, people can walk up on us and ain't gonna or whoever, and it's gonna be cool. These other dudes out here, they're gonna be acting all flaky and shit like that. They act like they fuck with the fans and people who support them when they really don't. Yeah. Shit, you gonna get your support. You gonna get shouted out immediately, and we gonna afford you more than enough opportunities to talk, call in, get your opinion. And hey, I mean, it was extended to everybody who was watching South Sports, 2 months ago? If you wanted to be part of the roundtable, and enough people obviously didn't want to do it enough. They just want to sit back and hear opinions and not give an opinion on camera. So, it's just the way it goes sometimes. But it's still great regardless, because the fan support of Houston is what makes this show live, and that's why it's going to carry over and be one of the best shows locally that you could ask for.
Absolutely. And Voodoo Child, it's too late, man. I got the big head months ago, man. So y'all ain't got to worry about me getting the big head. I done been got the big head. Now I'm fucking with y'all. But yeah, man. As I say, man, the thing is, and actually shout out because there's been a couple of people I've actually come across. I've been at the store out and about and stuff, and I'll be like, man, hey, you had Honcho? I'm like, yeah, man, what's happening? It's a cool little deal because it's strange, you know what I mean? Because I ain't think just with a couple of thousand, I ain't think it'd be that big of a deal, but it's cool, you know what I'm saying? And I appreciate the love for those who
it may say 3,000, but more people than came through and seen you and just ain't subscribed. It's an endless amount. Yeah, that's just what it's saying. On a YouTube video, you know what I'm saying? It can't calculate everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what they not telling you is the other people, and it show you that when you go look at your analytics on your videos and shit like that, it lets you know all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's still live, the amount of people who or diehard fans that come through every day versus people who casually come through and still show love.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. Look. That, yeah, that's gonna be the next donation. Lag and Narwhal. We're gonna set up to try to get $1,000 ticket to a game. You heard that shit? The tickets are $1,000 fucking dollars for the cheap tickets to the game.
To what game?
To the Rockets versus fucking Golden State Warriors. Western Conference Final.
Fuck?
Most expensive Western Conference Final. Most expensive.
Why are you trying to hit boys in the head like that?
Because this is the highest rated, the highest offensive meeting of teams in a Western Conference Final ever. Probably in sports, ever? Probably. I mean, ever. Because you got, and the thing is, you know what they said, that if the Rockets would have made one, this is how close these teams are in offense. If the Rockets would have made one more shot this season, one single shot this season, they'd have had the best offensive rating. So I mean, it was that it's 112 point. I think I was like 112.24, and then like 112.23. That's the difference.
That's fucking crazy, bro.
Well, 184 is still too much. Goddamn it! I seen some shit talk about $960 for the tickets. But you buy that 184 ticket and then hold on to it for a couple of days, it's gonna be worth about $500.
184. I just pulled it up.
Yeah, they say, that the average ticket is $900. All right. But yeah, that's the thing though. Even if the tickets were cheaper,
$180. That's standing room only type shit.
Yeah, they still. Here's the thing though. You buy them ticket shit, they still ain't gonna motherfucking me. Even if they were cheaper, that motherfucker still ain't gonna show up. It's gonna be full of Golden State fans and Hollywood elite. They gonna fly their asses out here and be in the motherfucking stand.
It just goes to show you what people put up with for years, because some people probably been putting up with this shit for years, being a fan of the team, and they just couldn't do shit right. And you know, it's seeming to be that way, you know, for a lot more Texans fans, because they just like, bro, I'm sick of these motherfuckers putting the same bullshit out there year in, year out. Regardless, you may get a couple of special players, but at the end of the day, we wasted a lot of talent. And you know, we all want this team to be great. Fuck good and average. I don't even like saying, all we need is average. No, we don't. We need to be special.
Yeah.
Special teams, average teams don't win the Super Bowl. That's why the Panthers had an average O-line, and look how they turned out for them when they went against the Denver Broncos. You see what I'm saying? See, we go ahead and we talk about situation to situation, and when when average had to go against great always won. That great ass offense that Peyton Manning thought he had in 2013, yeah, the within like a minute and 30 seconds of the game in the Super Bowl, he was already fumbling the snap and shit like that, and they was already, and bro, they got beat like 49 or like 13 or some shit. Like they got shellacked. You ain't never seen Peyton Manning get his ass beat like that.
Beat down, man, and that kills me. They talking about Beyonce, man. She a halfway Rockets fan, dog. Don't be because she be everywhere, man. She be all over the place. Look, this is where I lost Beyonce, when she did that little photo shoot a couple of years back, and she did that shit in the fucking Derrick Rose jersey. This is when Hard was balling, talking about that he was in conversation for the MVP, dog, like, and did it in a Derrick Rose jersey. Appreciate
now
the
you
love,
just need $995.
Yeah, look, we on the way there. Yeah, we slowly but surely, $1 at a time.
I thought that shit said $995. Yeah,
I thought it did at first. I was like, hold on, okay, let me look.
Whoa! I was about to say,
I'd have been like, man,
is this? Give him like 400 billion sauce.
Yeah, like we're gonna have to work out a deal.
yeah. That.
Shout out to Deucey, though. I appreciate the love, man. Appreciate that.
I was like 995, bro. You tripping.
Yeah, that's fucking hilarious. But yeah, man, that's what I say. That shit was getting on my that shit irked me about Beyonce a while back. Once I seen that shit, I was like, stop. You know what I'm saying? You talking about, especially when you talking about, I think it was the red jersey. So shit, you could have threw a red Houston jersey on. I mean, shit, we got red jerseys too. Like, what was the problem?
Exactly.
Like, what was the?
You could have put the old school, because the 94 jerseys was the best jerseys. Like, I learned to appreciate that now that I'm older.
Yeah.
Because it's throwback for me and you, because we actually was there on some shit that had that color. Like a lot of people ain't get to do that.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people ain't get to see, bro. We saw the transition when they went from them uniforms to the blue ones.
Yeah.
They got the rocket with the man. That whole live too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why they not, when they moved to the jerseys they in now, until they started, you know, doing the Asian thing where they had the black jersey, and then where they would put the yellow, you know, when it would be the red, yellow, the clutch city colors.
Yeah.
Like when they would put those colors in them jerseys, then I would like them. But just like the white and red, I hate them.
Not a uniform gray with the checkers. I fuck with that gray jersey. That whole kind of clean. It ain't the live.
Yeah, the gray one is cool.
But here's the thing. I see you asking, Victor, how do you think that Houston gonna guard Curry, Clay, along with Durant? But this is what y'all got to look at, man. When we played the Warriors this year, it was a long time ago, though. It was a long time. We're talking about it back in January. We're talking about Ryan Anderson was still starting. Ryan Anderson started those games for yes, with the checkers, Heidi. Those, you know, look, not only can you be stylish, you can bust out a game of checkers anywhere you want to. You know what I'm saying? So multitasking. But on some real shit though, the like I say, man, let's not expect, like I'm really not basing a lot of shit off the last time we played. I mean, we can look at those games, but of course it's good to talk shit on, you know, hey, we beat y'all ass twice this year, and the one time that we didn't, yeah, y'all didn't have Durant, but we don't and I'm telling you, look, it's all good and dandy when you're playing checkers till you meet a master checker player. But like I say, you know, it's been quite a minute since we played against the Warriors. The style of play that we've adjusted to is different. It's a lot of different things. So I'm not really looking at that as a basis as to what we're gonna do. You switch out Muthaf for Anderson, now you're starting off with a lineup that's much better on defense. And if Anderson's not making shots, he hasn't been consistent all year, so you're not really losing a whole lot. I want to say he did have a good game against the Warriors out of the three, but still, you know, it's not a big deal. So I actually think that we have a much better lineup facing the Warriors now, because you got I'm looking at it, you know, you Chris Paul and Curry, and everybody wants to talk about that one time Curry shook him in when he was on the Clippers, and yes, it was nasty, but for the most part, when Chris Paul has been healthy this year, with the 2 games that he was completely healthy, he dropped 30 points on the fucking Warriors. You know what I'm saying? That second game, Harden was coming back, like game 2 back, he had a minute restriction. He was coming off the knee or the hamstring or whatever injury he had earlier this year. So that was that whole thing. Like, and they were still, you know, quality wins. We can talk about, you know, we didn't have Ariza and Green. You know, that's when Green was on fire. Shit, one game we played against with Green dropped with 8 threes. I mean, it's going to be a whole different thing, because Green ain't looking as hot as he was when he first got here. Again, Rhino's not really all that. As far as defensively, though, we have bodies to throw at people. Ariza on Durant, you know. I'm looking at it. Matter of fact, hold on. I think I drew something up. I'm trying to see if I can find it. Yeah, that's what I was looking at. I was at Ariza on Durant. You got CP3 on Curry, because, you know, they got that lineup that they call the death lineup, the Hampton 5. That on that bullshit ass. That's the Hampton 5 is the gayest fucking nickname that I've ever heard for any team. Detroit used to have the bad boys.
The bad boy.
You know, you've had 5 Slammer Jammers, you've had all kind of different names. You've had all, I mean, but the Hampton 5 is the lamest nickname that I've ever heard for
the Hampton 5.
Yeah, that sounds like some old off the wall shit.
That sounds like some Michael Jackson type shit.
Shit, we gonna work something out and make something shake. Then one day somehow, Jay Dizzle, I see you on the sauce line. We'll just have to. We'll have to plan ahead. We'll make something shake. But yeah, the Hampton 5. You know, I guess he's standing at the Hampton Inn, but they talking about the Hamptons. You know, that old high class sedity shit. You know, we ain't with that shit. You'll never catch no H-Town team calling no Hampton 5, because we gritty. We blue collar down here. You know what I'm saying? We ain't with the bullshit. We gonna work for it. And that's what I see. And that's the mentality I feel like Houston has to approach this game with is, hey, yeah, they got finesse and they got all that. But hey, as far as talent, honestly, if we're going to be straight up and down, we're talking about starting talent. Overall, we're a notch below what they have. Let's just be honest. Capella at your 5, though. That's why I say it depends on, like I say again, with the matchups. Because if you're talking about running that small, that's their small lineup, that Hampton 5 with Durant, Curry, Thompson, Green, and Iguodala. Then I look at that as a situation where you can run, you know, Ariza on Durant, Curry and CP3, Harden on Thompson. You're going to have Tucker on Green. And if you're running small with Iguodala, now it just depends on how you want to play it. But you can insert Capella, or you can put Muthaf in that position. That's the benefit of having a guy like Muthaf who can play multiple who can guard multiple positions because Iguodala's not that big. And so, people talking about this death lineup and all that shit. We have a lineup that can equal them, and I feel like it's actually better defensively overall than what they're going to put on the floor. So again, all this shit is because people are bandwagoners. People want to say they've been down with the winning team, and they want to say they've been with this, and so they've been riding Golden State dick since 2-3 years ago. Okay, and so they just still doing that shit.
But everybody was just trashing the team right before when Durant up until Durant won the MVP and won the finals. Cleared everything up, and at the end of the day, all is forgiven now. But niggas like Stephen A. Smith was talking all the shit in the world about, but he knows exactly what degree his knee's supposed to be in on national TV. Because at the end of the day, this man disrespects him. Kevin Durant can't stand him, but yet he's still talking. At the end of the day, you had the most to say about this man before he made that move, and it was weak and it was this and that. But now, you know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. It's just flying over your face. I mean, it's just, I don't know, bro. Like, this dude right here, he's a complete cornball. He can't be taken seriously. And it's just like his analysis, he doesn't have analysis. He's just a dude who wasn't fortunate enough to be good enough to play NBA basketball, who gets to commentate about it instead. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Look like
and gossip is the only thing he's good at.
Nigga couldn't get a pickup game action going on. Look, Mr. Jefferson, you're gonna have to sit on the sideline. You're not moving up on the who got next line. You're gonna have to chill.
Exactly, man. It's all right, man. I mean, in time it'll get better. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta have people out here with real opinions who are willing to, not lie to the fans and people that they listen to their audience, and just be real with yourself first, then you can be real with everybody else. Like,
now Heidi,
it's easy.
Heidi, I think that's a good point that you put out there, because we live in a day and age, we were just talking about how, the media is controlled, and, again, the media, ESPN, these big stations, they control the people's perceptions. They control what people think about, Houston. If they showed more Houston games than, say, or national games, or they gave props to Houston like they did all this, then people would automatically start adjusting, because people just listen to the talking heads and feel like they the end all be all about everything. And so when they sit there and they just say, Golden State's unbeatable, when you hear everybody saying the same shit, Golden State's unbeatable, Golden State's unbeatable, Golden State's unbeatable, of course, but we got offices in California and stuff, so we're gonna root for them. And when you keep pushing this narrative, then the nation is eventually gonna pick it up, especially if you're the main source of that information. But when you're saying that at ESPN, they are very political, because you see they didn't clean the house and got rid of a lot of people and made a whole bunch of adjustments. I don't really care for some of the new formats, because, like I say, I feel like what they're trying to do is overcompensate. Like, it's nothing wrong with you trying to balance, what you got going on. Okay, if you feel like, all right, what we got on this roster right now is a little out of there. We gonna do some balancing. We gonna do some adjustments. We losing money. We got to fire some people and all that other shit. But I think they're trying to overcompensate. And so I think they're putting out a worse product. But I wouldn't be surprised if the NBA, if the media, and more liberal entities would like
what Heidi just said
with the political shit.
It is Bay Area, and ESPN is Eastern media, old media.
Exactly, and so that's what I'm saying. Like you said, the political stuff. You got LeBron and Durant, who were just around All-Star break. They were given a lot of flack for criticizing Trump and the little car ride deal, and it was a whole bunch of shit around that. So with this whole thing is you notice, and it was funny because at the White House Correspondents' Dinner they talked about that the comedian, everybody was giving her a bunch of shit, but the only reason they gave her shit is because she put it in their face. She's like, yeah, all of y'all act like y'all hate Trump, but in reality, y'all love him because he's making y'all careers right now, because otherwise y'all wouldn't have nothing else to talk about. And it's true. They keep acting like it, but this is their story. Every day they wake up and then figure out, okay, what Trump did so we can talk about it. Love him or hate him, that's just how they operate. But I think, too, you can push a political agenda, because you don't hear Harden talk about no shit like that. You don't hear Chris Paul talking about no shit like that. But you see Curry, you see LeBron, and you see a lot of these guys give a lot of their thoughts and opinions on situations like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if the NBA is trying to.
And just because they haven't said anything, feel some kind of way about it.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that they don't. I'm just saying that but these guys are out there publicly, making it known. And I wouldn't be surprised. Like I say again, the money that's on the books, Vegas. I look, it's me. I'm just I won't say I'm necessarily a complete conspiracy theorist, but a little bit I am. When human interaction is involved, and there's always a way. And I
How
wouldn't
can it be conspiracy when the plan is executed? How is it a conspiracy? That's what kills me about people who talk about, okay, a conspiracy is an idea.
Yeah.
It's a thought.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if people conspired to kill leaders in this nation, and when we look and we can go right past their graves, like, how is that a conspiracy? It happened.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is a conspiracy in the situation of that with this Golden State and this Rockets game. Vegas, I don't care what anybody says. In my opinion, Vegas runs sports because that's where the money is. That's where you're going to get the best, most accurate information about anything is coming out of Vegas. These talking heads can say what they want to. They can put their opinion. Vegas is all about the money, and they ain't trying to lose no motherfucking money. So they're going to give you accurate, up-to-date information. But
you're right again, Heidi.
You say
they have the hugest media outlet, period. Like, in terms of, like, and they get to put out the most information. When you think about all these Fox shows and shit like that, they're centered in New York. Like, everything comes through New York. It has to. It's the biggest city in the nation. I mean, so
the Big Apple,
and they market it like, shit. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. I guess
you ain't lying, Heidi. This is hustle time. Look, this is Sparta. This
I feel like Charlemagne
hustle time.
I feel like Charlemagne making it from where the hell he's from in South Carolina is way huger. I feel like it out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, which I live in, which is horrible. It's a trashy place. Everything about that place you can experience in 3 weeks or less. Like, it's nothing special about it. You know what I'm saying? But, I can understand why home is home for certain people, regardless of where, if people could get with it or not. At the end of the day, that's what you come from. Embrace it. I would say it's very easy considering the shit that they would have. Not to say that they day-to-day lives are easier, because the moment even when you're around like people who grew away, and for them to come down and dudes from New York and just from lingo and shit like that, they get the calm way down. They don't get to have to be on guard all the goddamn time because they always screw you and you not. That's why part of the reason why Mike Tyson's everybody's trying to screw you and he ain't.
Yeah, this is cutting in and out a little bit. I was trying to catch some of your points, and I kind of got mixed up with the in New York. When you were saying something about New York and people coming down from New York or something like that.
Yeah. I was just saying that when people come down from New York, they don't have to be on guard as they would if they were up north still. It's just a different environment. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like you being out of that element. It just, I don't know. It just seems like people are a little bit more serene when they move out of New York. I know people say they'll never move back ever.
Yeah. Say backwoods and open land. You ain't lying, man. Look, learn how to kill your own food, man, and be Gucci.
Bro, do you know that they don't even sell flavored blunts in New York? Did you know that? Like,
that's gonna be a cushion.
Go there and go get a Garcia Vega grape or nothing like that. No grape flavor.
Oh man, we gonna have to talk about that in the den, man. But let's get back to it, man. And again, we know the media hates Houston. There's so many different underlying reasons. Last year, they've already forgotten. Houston was the story with the hurricane, so it was a feel good story and all of that. But now, that's kind of passed over. We didn't need too much help from any outsiders, and we weren't, on all that other stuff. So it wasn't as good of a story to them because they're like, oh, them motherfuckers, they didn't got together themselves. They self-reliant down there. They don't give a fuck. They ain't acting like the motherfucking New Yorkers or the other people who just really tripping and spazzing out. They fucking hopping in the trucks, hopping in their boats, and making it shake. But now that feel good story is over with, people have gone on and forgotten. Well, the news cycle 24 hours a day, so everything is easy to forget. How do you think that we were kind of jumping away from that? That was just a random tangent, but how do you think that people are looking at the Texans honestly this year? We talked about the Astros deserving more love. The Rockets, they're a solid team and they deserve way more love. But the Texans, they're kind of middle of the pack. How do you feel about it? What do you should they be viewed?
I think the players in the league respect. I think the media has high hopes for the Texans, and they've been talking about the Texans for quite some time since they've been doing good because we've had players that have been played at an exceptional level. So I'd say we're a somewhat respected organization, but I it all boils down to the product that they put on the field, and do they win enough players who against teams who matter in England. That's just big. They'll have the capability to do it now that they got Deshaun Watson. So I believe that will change as long as on this football. But I mean, this team is a complete joke. I mean, look at the guys we've had at quarterback. Like literally, just look at who've done what. Like regardless of how long it took to get this man, like overall, like our just quarterback situation, and we were never really in when it was time to get a quarterback. No quarterbacks were either really available, or we were nowhere in a position the better period. We just weren't. The only quarterback that we had who was at our disposal what we could have picked was Vince Young in draft. Outside of that, been close enough for go get. And at the end of the guys who's do over the last 13 years have been complete garbage.
Yeah.
Like, so, I mean, shit's gonna change for us, but I think the players respect us because they respect players on the team. That's what, and they see dudes is getting stronger and shit like that, and dudes are getting better, and they know that they getting Romeo Cornell back, so they know they have to take us serious, at least defensively. If you can't hang your hat on that, I mean, we don't know. We gonna see what the offenses are gonna do. I think personally it's gonna be better, but who knows how it's gonna end up changing.
Okay. Got a couple of good questions in here I want to touch on. And I see y'all talking about with Donovan Mitchell, was he faking the funk after the after the
when
game?
He got hurt last night?
Yeah, I said he was looking like he was healthy after the game. But you're right though. We really don't. I mean, because here's the thing, and I see what Heidi's talking about. You know, St. Louis has Kemah. Houston, we have Sauce Center. That's what we're gonna have to do. That's what we're gonna have to bust open a Sauce Center.
Who will be the biggest challenger to the Texans in the AFC?
Yeah, you look at these media that we have now. I mean, you ask about a lot of the younger folks. They don't even know what 610 or 790 is. They have no idea. I mean, there's been people in here that we've talked to and said, shit. Even Darren was like 790. What's that? You know, and so again, Houston just does not have good representation as far as sports media. And
honestly, they shit on Houston worse than the media. Like, they should warranted. And then when it is warranted, they don't even go in the way that they're supposed to. They just go with the rest of the national, you know, the local media narrative that this they're really putting analysis. Like, John McClain is he's the Mel Kiper of the Houston Texans organization in terms of media. Like, he is no different than this man. He's always wrong. He thinks he has the plug. He's not respected by the players whatsoever. Been confirmed. And it's just like, bro, like he asks dumbass questions. He always cares about how other men feel. Like, bro, what do you mean? We just lost. How the fuck do you think I feel? Like, I don't know, man. Like, he's a complete idiot. Like,
the general.
I don't know.
Man,
the dude sucks.
Yeah,
and that radio suck. Y'all hear him?
Pancakes, honestly, dog. He like get upset when he ain't getting all the attention. Like, he come on like he's like a diva, dog. It kills me. Like, that's like my thing is this: the general. I will not call him the general. If he was the general, he should have handled that shit between Josh Ennis and Seth Payne right there. If you're the foremost entity in Houston sports media, you're the elder statesman. You should be able to say, hey, look, this ain't what it is. Y'all both representing for the city of Houston. Y'all looking like some clowns. Y'all making the city of Houston look like clowns. You know what our current media state is. We already low on the polls, and look at now y'all making us look foolish. Been
in movies and shit.
Oh damn!
Like, and he don't even, bro. He was in The Longest Yard. When you look at the commentators and the dudes when they were commentating on the game, bro, go back and go look in there where it's got all the people. Bro, bro, he's in that movie. He's in like 5 movies. He did a movie with Gucci Mane and everything.
Look, let me tell you. All right. He started breathing out heavy. That motherfucker started breathing heavy from thinking too hard. I ain't never known nobody do no shit like that.
About food, like, bro, like, he can't wait to go get that damn barbecue sauce over his beard and shit. Like, I don't know, bro. Man. Like, I don't.
Who you think will win in an eating contest, Cornell or pancakes?
pancakes.
Oh, that's Heidi is a motherfucking me. You're a mind reader. I'm thinking the exact same shit. And fuck it, there goes Heidi. Heidi, I'm finna give you some bonus points. For great minds thinking alike. That's funny as fuck. But that happens a lot. I notice that happens a lot. A motherfucker be thinking some shit and I'll be saying it, and then that shit'll pop up on the fucking on the chat. So I gotta give y'all some props for that. But what'd you say out of McLean and Cornell?
McLean, bro. We didn't even have to him against anybody. He would defeat Vince Wilfork easy. And I'm talking about if Vince Wilfork had the time to smoke a pound of weed with nothing on his stomach, and he would still out-eat him. Yeah. Like, that's just what I think. I just think he's a fat ass, and it's no telling how he gorges his food. When, I don't even, oh, God, bro. He like, to watch him, he would remind me of this dude I seen on 600 Pound Life.
Man.
Daddy at the end of the table was bringing him, like, bucket and steak.
That's so funny. That's like the second time I've heard about this show in like 2 days. The other time was, I guess, I seen that clip. That clip where I guess they went to the doctor and both of them was fat as shit. And then the girl got on the thing. It was like 800 pounds or something. And the boyfriend was in there. He was like, "Damn." But shit, that motherfucker wasn't no smaller than that motherfucking ass. So
they never are, bro.
That shit was fucking, that shit there. That's bad sex, man. So just sometimes you ever wonder.
Bro, how did you have sex
that's what I'm saying. You ever just like wonder, like you ever just see a couple together and you just be like, man, y'all have bad sex though.
Bro, you fight 98 to 180 pounds of just stomach flap that you got to lift up on top of trying to spread somebody's leg and the smells that come out of it.
Oh my God.
Bro,
oh my God.
Back of her kneecap smell like it's horrible, bro. Like,
look,
I done seen somebody so big, bro, one time, like they had stretch marks on their pinky. Stretch marks on your pinky.
God damn.
I never seen no shit like that ever in my life. I didn't think it was existed. I didn't even know stretch marks were for hands. Never one. Behind the fuck mark on the side of your hand, and it was a true stretch mark.
Dog. What you have just informed me of has baffled my mind. I am not thinking clearly because I'm seriously trying to imagine stretch marks on the fucking
pinky finger.
Like how
specifically?
Man, you got.
I don't know.
Yeah, man. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know how that happened, bro. And I'll never forget that to this day. I don't remember where I was. I don't remember. I just remember when I spotted it, and I was just like, "Get the fuck out of here, bro."
Oh, man. That's awful. That's awful stuff. But
that shit crazy.
Man, that's terrible. Man, but talking about some of the local media, and we're talking about how Houston gets hated on. I mean, how do y'all feel about Jerome Solomon?
Don't know who that is.
He's the black dude that writes for the Chronicle, and he talks a little bit of Texas. He talks a little bit of Rockets too.
I love Pat. Pat D. Stat is the only person I feel comfortable listening to when it's talk to Texans. He doesn't he gives the right amount of criticism. He's fucking. Like, he can play both sides. He can give you exactly what you want to hear. He gonna let you know when dudes is doing their thing, but he's definitely gonna let you know what's up when he fucking up. And it's crazy, bro.
Okay. Anyone who says he is the king is a douche. Who is calling themselves the king? Yeah, I fuck with Pat D. Stat, and I know he's recovering. So hopefully, he gets back and is better than ever, man. Fat people need love too, man. Y'all know, man, South Sports has been down with the BBWs, but then here's what y'all got to understand. There's a difference, man. If y'all ain't watched that Christian episode that I did with Shaq Kush a while back, there's a difference between like BBWs and thick and being big, and then there's FABs. There's a situation when you become fab. And this is not fab. Fab. It's fab. Not in the good sense. It's when you become either a fat ass bitch or a fat ass bastard. You know what I'm saying? When you done got too damn big for your own good. And I mean, let's be honest. You done got too goddamn big. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, them people on 600 pounds and dying or not on that show, bro. People die off that show.
That's what I'm saying.
All the time.
Like I say, I mean, it's like we crack the joke, but it's really not funny. But this is it's like this is an American thing. This like I mean, I'm sure it happens in other countries here and there, but BBW 150 to 190. It depends on the height, man. We gotta. It's a lot of factors that go into it. Because if you like 5 foot and you 150 to 190, you might be out of the element. We got to do some proportions.
150. Well, it depends on your body and the way your body is. The mass or whatever the weight that you got. Because saying a chick that's 190, I seen this chick on World Star who was 200 pounds. And she was like 200, but she was all muscle. Yeah. Some little African chick, she was thick. Man, bro, let me stop. But yeah, bro, like, and it's just crazy. It's distribute weight. I mean, it's just where it is. I mean, because it's not always you know, and this shit fits. Shit, you can be skinny and fat like them skinny ass women, you know what I'm saying, with the flat back and the little dimples at the top of they shoulder blades because they don't have no booty. You know what I mean? Trash. Like,
I need a little bit of assets. I need something I can grasp.
You look like somebody's nephew out here.
Oh man, but now Lobo, it's all good, man. But here's the thing, here's the thing, because women are naturally supposed to be thicker. They naturally have more fat deposits and things like that than me. That's why I don't like. I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't like it. It just depends. It's each on an individual basis, because it really comes down to how a motherfucker carried himself. You know what I'm saying? Because I done seen some big girls, but they really know how to clean themselves up, carry themselves at night. You'd be like, damn, she'll
like
give
Jill Scott.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? She get the business. But that's what I'm saying. So it's just really about how you care. 4 foot 220 now. That's like you a midget. You a midget, and
you'll die. Like
you've been eating chicken nuggets your whole life.
Victim in an alien movie.
Damn. If LeBron comes to you better believe Houston recognition about to. Yeah, if LeBron comes here, but here's my beef with LeBron coming here, man. Is then everybody's going to try to make it seem like it's his team, like, oh, he's the reason Houston got over that hump. You know what I mean? He won't be. It's really not. It's not about him. I think Capella's development is a bigger asset than bringing in LeBron. And Capella has taken a leap. And this is something else that I was looking at, because I went back and I was kind of watching the old games and things, like I say, for the Rockets versus the Warriors. And Capella has grown by leaps and bounds from those games. Right. So that's what I'm saying. It's not going to be the same series. So, like, I don't want people to put too much weight on those games. Right. Yeah, man. You say a pretty ass big girl. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with a pretty ass big. Like, that's what I'm telling you. Look, if a woman carries herself correctly, there's nothing wrong with it. Because it's some women who got shapes that look like trash. What do you consider
big? I mean, what? And honestly, I mean, this is a Christian conversation. Mm-hmm. But what is? I mean, somebody else's version of big, different. And it's a cultural thing too. You know, just think everything is fat because it doesn't look like, you know, what they're into. You know, handle. Yeah. You know, and you know they make it seem like the people who like more or for being into what's natural versus this, you know, person that goes in the bathroom and throws up every time y'all have sex. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a horrible situation.
Oh, that's awful. Yeah. I'm not with the. Like I say, if it came down to it, like I'd prefer a Rockets power dancer over a Houston Texas cheerleader, because, you know, one is thicker, and the others they're active, but they just ain't got they don't have the proper assets. Thickness is beautiful. Absolutely, man. Like I say, man, you know, this standard of beauty that we have, but again, things are changing. But I mean, with a standard of beauty, that's another thing. It's your own decision. What you like is what you like. Who give a fuck what anybody else saying? If motherfuckers don't like your thing, well, guess what? They leave more for you. So, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. Feast, eat. But yeah, we might make that the Christian topic tonight. We're gonna talk about. We ain't talked about BBW action and things like that. What is too big? Something of that sort. That's what we're gonna talk. Especially with Charles Barkley coming back to Texas. You know, he likes to talk about all them big old women. You ain't lying, Heidi. So yeah, that's what we're gonna talk about in the den tonight. So later on, probably about 9, we'll slide in the den to do that. So if y'all fuck with the den, remember that. But yeah, every man got their flavor. That's what the sauce. I mean, exactly. Everybody got their own flavor, man. Some people like skinny chicks. Some people like thick.
That's why Sauce Sports is so live, because every contributing factor, whether you on the show talking versus you being in the chat and getting the shit stirred up and you know, extending the network. Hey, y'all doing y'all job.
Exactly. I like the CrossFit girls. Someone's earned their ass. Not exactly. Like, now look, a earned workout ass is something to be appreciated. You know what I'm saying? The chick who really put it. I seen I seen. I'm not really into like the bodybuilder chick, but I seen this chick the other. I was like, good grief. I don't know if she had to get some shots to go with it or something, but I know she put it to work. That ass, the ass just seemed to look too right and too soft for all the rest of everything being all muscly and shit. But I appreciated it. I'm like I say, it was just some shit. I'm gonna have to find the name because I can't remember her name. But if I'm gonna put it in the chat, cause y'all see this, you're gonna be like, God damn, because you be thinking of most of them small chicks, you be thinking of like China and shit. But it wasn't none of that kind of action. It was like she swole, but still got some of the femininity to it. But when she started flexing though, she flexed up. She looked like a young nigga, so I wouldn't fight that hoe. But again, you know, everybody got their own preference. They say, how do you say you got to steal, but yeah, you got to have to twerk to jiggle with it. You got to have a little jiggle with the wiggle, man.
Yeah, like that don't make no sense.
It's all good. Just sit on the couch for a little while, eat you a couple of donuts. You know what I'm saying? Slack off on working out for a couple of days. You'll be good.
Like, bro, like that's another option. Like, in front of the back with a, you know, but like your back and your butt is merged together, and it just got that little fold over because that's just the way anatomy works.
That's just the way anatomy works. I'm done.
It's just the way anatomy works.
Oh my god!
I mean, you gotta kind of have a curve, like.
Oh my god! Oh man!
That hard booty.
Y'all don't understand. I'm really like trying to keep a straight face, trying to hold back. It's like right in them tear ducts right there. Dog. It's lingering. And I'm really trying my best because that's how anatomy works.
It's just like, bro, like hitting the cardboard booty, bro. It's like looking at, bro, like you sanding sheetrock, bro.
Oh my god,
bro. Like it takes so much time, bro. Like it's just like, ew. Like, you naturally can't even have that little dip in your back, like you know most men like it's just
the dip lets you know where to place your thumbs properly. You know what I'm saying? When you put that, that's the groove where you go ahead and place your thumbs here. You know, and you get that when you're getting that grip on the side. Yeah. So you know that's just like a guide to follow.
Like it just looked like your little butt looked like the back of decaps. Like it's just like it looked like hamstrings. Like it's just. And your song be all baggy. It don't even fit. Like, that's the worst. Bro. Hold on, bro. Hold on.
Oh, my God.
Like,
oh, my
man,
God.
A thong that don't fit, bro.
That's
like
the worst.
G-string is even worse, bro. Like, oh, you out of there. Like... Like if it don't go in the ass, take it off. Like you know, just don't. Like just stop. Don't go to Victoria's Secret till you go get some lunges in. Like,
oh my god. And be careful when you go to Victoria's Secret too. Don't run into De La Hoya in that bitch. He might be.
Oh man, yeah.
Fighting you for the last piece of lingerie and shit.
Yeah, he definitely.
Oh man, yeah.
Hey,
Jay,
so
you might
utensils.
you might be right, though. I don't know. A booty shorts with no booty might be on the brink too. If you
that
got
ain't
some,
worse than a baggy thong,
man.
I'm sorry,
some
bro.
sag in the booty shorts. If you turn some booty shorts.
And then the ones who's like, you know how they try to drift it down so that the little part can be like aligned with the crack. Like it's just like, bro, you can't sag your thong, bro, and it don't even fit inside. Like that's just horrible, bro. Like,
oh my goodness, man, we went completely off the rails.
Yeah, we did, bro. This was half Christian, half sauce.
But this shit is all Gucci, so it don't even matter.
Yeah. Shit look like a Samsung TV back here.
Man, let's see. Shout out to Honcho Wink. I think the media doesn't like Houston because it's a small market because they hate we have CP3 and James Harden. But I have a question for Wink. Do you think James Harden should play the best games in the Warrior series, or do you see CP3 having the ball in crunch time? It's Chandler. What's up? Shout out to Chandler.
Well, Chandler, I'll put it to you like this. It's part of his first part of the question. What was he saying?
He was saying about that the media hates Houston because it's a small market.
The media, it's not a small market. Yeah, that's what he said. They're kind of tricking me. It's not a small market. It's just that we don't have enough talent here to talk about the city and ask the right questions that afford these players to give them their best when we interview them. So it's the people that are here, and the reason why South Sports exists in the first place is because they don't take the initiative to give good interviews and really get player insight and afford the players. It's always some foreign agenda, and the team should be the player should be fucking committed, but the team doesn't. The team has the luxury to cut, do whatever the fuck they want because they don't want to waste no money on your funky ass no more. And that's exactly how it is. That's the same situation into Honey Badger and Dez Bryant and all these teams to let these players go, regardless if they regressed or not. You want the player, and the player has to go out, make cuts, and do this and do that, put his body on the line. But then, the teams ain't held accountable. Oh well, we worried about cap space. Like what? What are you talking about, bro? Like, and you're a fan of. That's why I'm saying being a fan of the sport before a sports team is always gonna be more beneficial because it gives you better reasoning.
Yeah. Okay. And you were saying on the other part,
and I think and then your second part, I think it's still gonna have to be a mix of both. I bring it. Now, I think able to get away with the game, maybe too, depending on the way the game goes and where they play it. But I wouldn't take any chances, and they both need to be on their game. I mean, neither one, Capella and other need to step up because when that starting lineup is in and when they get rest, they have to be able to come in and dominate. You know what I'm saying, or at least hold it down long enough until Harden and CP3, can do what the fuck they need to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they'll be solid though. I think I like what I saw from CP3 this series though, showing that he could kind of take over and when James wasn't playing well, and that's really what we need. If James has a down night or isn't having the greatest night, we need somebody who can step up and be consistent. The way CP3 has been hitting from mid range, I mean, he has been on fire. It's like he can't miss. So I'm thinking I like what I'm seeing going into this series against the Warriors.
Right.
So we'll see what happens. But again, like I said, if y'all got any last couple of messages or anything, we're gonna get ready to start kind of winding some things up. But it was something that took place. What happened this week? It was something with the Texans that took place, and I wanted to speak on it. I can't remember exactly what it was. Slipped my motherfucking mind. Now I don't have to saw a lot of that bitch was damn near dead. I got back to the crib late. I'm trying to think. I mean, the text line is up. You can text if y'all have some things y'all want to text in. Fuck. It's something that happened with the Texans, and it's slipping my. It's a topic I wanted to speak on.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what the fuck it was. It was a comment that was made, or it was something that somebody mentioned. It'll probably hit me later.
The starting lineup.
Yes, the starting lineup conversation. Yeah, as you saw that was posted. What are your feelings about the projected? Again, we don't really know, but the projected starting lineup.
That looked about right. I just didn't like the when it came to the defense because I don't see them run defense, and the fact the DN on the other side, which other people really meant. They just had a bunch of linebackers, and they didn't even have J.J. Watt and Reader. You know what I'm saying? So it was just it looked about what I thought it would be, considering the guys we got. I don't expect no rookie, especially no rookie drafted rookie or undrafted rookie is starting. Not right off the season. The only way one of them was starting is this injury start piling up, and then but they'll get some time. But they're not gonna be guys we can count on this season.
Okay.
And it's not a bad. And like I said in a prior stream, that's not a bad thing if they don't. They don't have to produce right away. Come next year and the year after, they gonna have to.
Okay. Says Wise texted in. Shout out to Wise. Say, which veteran on the Texans is at high risk of losing his starting role? Name one for the offense and defense.
And Jay Dizzle, offense. The defense starters have always been since rookies. Now, that's not a problem for the defense. I'm talking strictly the offense when I made that statement. Question again?
The question
Who's
was,
more at risk?
who do you think is at risk of losing a starting job? Name one for the offense and one for the defense.
Well, I could probably go as far as to say that, yeah, Kareem Jackson. I'll say Kareem Jackson and Andre Hale probably both lost their jobs.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm looking at.
Let me see. I think everybody else is safe. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what they're gonna do with the D line and what they're gonna do with guys. The only way I see each of four starting is if they run in a 4-3 on the line. I don't see him starting.
Yeah, I think I got
Kevin Johnson was not a starter. Kevin Johnson wasn't a starter in the first place.
Yeah, I probably have to agree with you on those two. Because I'm looking, I mean, you're looking at the line. The line is what it is because we ain't even talking about that. That shit need to be blew up anyway.
Braxton wasn't a starter either.
And again,
the only other person I think that could be taken away is out of his job, just depending on how he plays in preseason, in camp, and things like that. And he shows a much greater stride. Is Lamar Miller. If Lamar Miller loses his job to Foreman when the season starts or something like that, then that's the only other. That would be probably the greatest to happen outside of any other moves. Any other moves that they make is due to injury or some suspension or some bullshit like that. But if dudes are completely healthy, then I see no reason for these dudes not to still have their jobs.
Bruce and that's what I say. Bruce, I think Bruce is going to end up holding it down for that slot position.
I think he is too.
What veteran is most likely to be cut?
For them. You can get your take first.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm trying to think of who all we got going. I'm trying to think about just straight up cut or maybe try to use as trade bait. I'm just really trying to think.
I think the only veterans you could straight up cut are guys like Jonathan Joseph, Kareem Jackson. You could straight up cut them. J.J. Watt, I don't think you could straight up cut. I think if they were going to get rid of him, they're not going to just cut him. They're going to try to deal him away because somebody else is going to end up absorbing his salary while we take a much lesser cap hit. That's always the smarter way to get rid of any players, instead of just cutting them. But unless they owe zero, it's completely zeroed out. But I don't really see a lot of situations where a lot of guys are really just gonna get cut like that.
That's what I'm looking. Yeah, I mean, to me, Kareem, if like I say, if you see something out of K-Joe, if he just showing you that it is what it is, and you can get rid of that 9 and get that $9 million off the books, then hey, I'm not opposed to that. Because
if they were gonna do it, they need to do it after June 1st.
So like I say, it's going to determine again, because I know a lot of those contracts had those June 1st. What is that? The official league year, whatever his designation.
Exactly.
So I still wouldn't be surprised if there may be a casualty or two,
right,
coming up soon. We'll see, man. Like I say, but yeah,
and you in a great salary cap situation.
What's up, Darren? What's the motherfucking deal?
So you ahead of the curve in terms of that, but other teams are still ahead of you. So all that money that we didn't spend, that went to free agency, and all of this money, especially the teams who had the better drafts in the league, like Indianapolis, and they started building the nucleus. Like this was the start of their new, like Jacksonville did last year, and Andrew Luck gets to come back healthy, and they just keep building to the line for a better defense and weapons to throw to. That's going to be a tough situation, man. But I think Deshaun Watson will be able to put him back in check, though.
Okay. I got one more question. We're going to take this last question, then we're gonna wrap it up. This one's from Chandler again. He says, do you think if Kareem Jackson gets excuse me. Do you think if Kareem Jackson gets injured or a serious injury, do you think he's done in Houston?
Oh, yeah. No doubt about that.
I agree. Absolutely.
I don't foresee them going ahead and taking out any more time, especially with the cap hit. That'd be even more of a reason to cut him. It'd be a much easier reason to just he's just slipping and they don't want to play him anymore because he's been one of the guys since O'Brien has been back. He got that fat in an O'Brien tenure anyway. So, I mean, it is what it is. But if Kareem was to be cut, you have to make sure that the rest of your options are sturdy enough.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you know what you got out of Kareem Jackson. It is not anything that's just going to jump off the page at you. And, of course, it's going to be several tendencies to get beat. But you may have some guys on the roster that could possibly be worse. So, again, you can't just let him go until you're absolutely sure in what you got going, if you're sure about what K-Joe bringing to the table. And I think that's going to be the most interesting thing. Because, again, like my personal opinion, I feel like the K-Joe situation was mental, trying to get back off an injury and then coming back into basically a new coordinator who really ain't playing you to your strengths. Because we saw a flash of, we saw that Rams game, he looked like he was I want to say it was the Rams game where he came out hitting that game and he was looking good. But because if you saw a lot of the mistakes, he was just having a lot of plays where he was getting handsy. And my thing is that with it being a knee injury, maybe he felt like he was about to get beat. Maybe he wasn't feeling as confident about, being able to turn, being able to move on that leg. So instead of using his feet, using his legs more, he's starting to use his hands to make up for that. And that's where he's starting to get those penalties. That's where he's getting a lot of that. So I think the problems with Kevin Johnson can be corrected. It's going to take some work. But
I just hope it's not a mental issue.
Yeah. I mean,
if it is, then that's much harder to conquer.
You think so?
And dudes from the show is already getting in his head. Why? And he, bro, you're in his head.
Yeah.
When somebody writes you that long of a paragraph to pour out their feelings, and he getting trashed, and you was the worst. Say you were the worst. Like, I mean, you have to show everybody that shit was a fluke and that the DC was trash and you were just going through some shit. You got to make this shit like spectacular, better than any year, better than any potential. It has to be put together now because this is what you all don't understand. Upside is known within a 3-year period. It hasn't been too many players who didn't show their upside or get better with the upside that they have a 3-year period and then just start dominating the league and become household names and Super Bowl champions. There's not too many of those players that you can exist, and even if they do, it's going to take you a minute to really think about who they are and who that is, because none come to mind right off a rip. And I don't know, man. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Like I say, man, my thing is, I'm like, why I'm saying I do hope it was mental. I'm hoping it's mental in the sense of that, okay, I'm a year removed from that injury. My mind is in a more comfortable space. I'm not as timid. Because, when guys have them lower leg injuries, they always come back a little bit more timid. It's always going to be on your mind. I've had, lower leg injuries. It's going to be on your mind just because you're going through the same motions that got you injured in the first place. You're going to play a little bit softer. It's going to be a little bit more cautious about how you turn, how you push, how you press. And I think a lot of that was in his head. So I'm hoping, after a year of constant practice and, training, getting stronger, healing up, maybe having to go holler at the footwork king or, do whatever he needed to do, you know what I'm saying, and just really getting it together. And like I say, getting faith in his feet again. I think that's what happened. He lost faith in his feet. He lost faith in his legs. And again, so he started relying on other poor techniques to try to, keep him in position again. So he was getting beat by fucking Decker and shit, that shit's unacceptable. And so, like, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I think he's going to be all right. I think he'll be better. He'll be significantly better this year than he was last year. I'm not saying he's going to jump out and be a Pro Bowl, be all that.
From a technique standpoint, no question. He'll be a smarter football player. He'll make smarter football decisions when he gets on the field this season because Rack is back in the fold. That I have no question about. He will be a better football player, but he probably won't be so because he's not going to be able to be on the field to prove otherwise. He has to be on the field. And I'm talking about he has to be on the game, no minimum, a minimum of 14 games. Like, this in 12 games, and these little 6 and 7 game stretches you get, it's not enough football for you to be playing, and it's not enough time for you to really develop and get better because you lacking against going up against competition. You get beat by good competition in practice all the time. Dudes make plays against Kevin Johnson in practice all the time. Every time it's a highlight reel or it's something that's shown on fucking he is always the culprit of getting taken advantage of. Even now, I see Kareem get taken advantage of sometimes, but more often than not, taking advantage. So if dudes are taking advantage of him in practice, and we talking about dudes.
Shit, that hop highlight from last year, that one that was floating around, that was on Kevin Johnson. Like that one.
It was on Kevin Johnson. Yes, with the one hand. And he the same thing he did in Pittsburgh.
Basically, yeah.
The exact damn near the same play. It's just one was in practice and one counted in the game, and everybody got to see it. The only way you knew about that is if you got the app or you're a Texans fan.
Exactly.
Like Kevin Johnson been getting shitted on, and he hasn't truly gotten better. And this much footage in practice would not be available if these plays were not being made against Kevin Johnson's on a frequent basis. So when we're really talking about these things, when it comes to this man, like, he has no real way to get better because even in practice, he doesn't stand a chance against the best. So why am I to believe he's going to be able to do it regardless of who the coach is? Because he's been coached great his entire tenure, with the exception of last year. But without good coaching, he can't be a good player. And he's the true definition of a system guy. When people talk about system guys, that means once that system goes away, he's no longer a good talent. When Kevin Johnson no longer had Romeo Cornell as his DC, he went into a shell of himself regardless of what he dealt with last year, because even before injury, he still wasn't playing good. He was getting massacred. He was getting shellacked every week. And he only had, outside of the Rams game and a couple of other games against lesser opponents, it wasn't like his best game was the Rams game last year. Like, that's the only game I can look to and say, man, Kevin Johnson looked great in that game. But, like, you should be Jonathan Joseph. You don't see, everybody loves to talk shit about Jonathan Joseph, but even in practice and shit like that, y'all don't see highlight films and Hopkins doing that shit against Jonathan Joseph, and he's older. Y'all do not see that when we go look at plays, and when we look at plays being made against the defense. I have Jonathan Joseph in any one of those videos. I've yet to see a 24 or he getting gloved on or something like that in the end zone by DeAndre Hopkins or anybody, Will Fuller or anybody. You don't see that, but you see that in other dudes like Kevin Johnson and Kareem Jackson. Kareem Jackson, I can understand from a size wise and speed wise. But in terms of technique, he knows how to play you. If you can be in front of him, if he would have played like this, if he would have played more bump and run and I think they're gonna play a lot of that at this season. That's the best way that him and J-Jo can be the most successful. And I saw tape of that. Why I seen it, we all seen it, from doing film review over this past weekend, and he can still cover. It's just, it depends on matchup, and it just depends on can he play his game. And if he can play bump and run and man coverage, he'll be fine.
Yeah. Oh, man, he better not come with this shit. I remember when they said that shit about fucking Assweiler. He's basically a rookie. No, he's not. This motherfucker been in the league. This motherfucker been in the league more than most people. Shit. Like,
Jadavian Clowney still been getting hurt and shit like that. He was getting in his first and second season, and see if they would be saying that now with no real production. Exactly. Come on, bro. He's just no.
Exactly. Already. So we gonna finish up this little raffle action that we got going here and let that run. But
the hell is this to everybody right? Not technically. That's the Pro.
No, KJ All Pro. That's the raffle.
KJ All Pro. Okay.
The raffle code. Big titties, man. I'm mad. I'm really upset because I've been looking for you. I really have. I'm always looking for big titties in real life. I'm gonna look at them, but I've been looking for you specifically, big titties, because the other night the stream died. I had the greatest joke that I was going to lay down upon your Dallas Cowboys, and the stream died in the middle of my execution. I don't even want to try to do it again because I don't have the same energy and the same passion. But I'm going to save that joke because, again, we're going to play Dallas at some point. We're going to play Dallas at some point this season, and you'll be around. because I'll definitely be here. So I'll be looking for you. And I'll be sure to rehash and recycle that joke because you'll fall into the trap and you'll set it up again. And I will make sure to execute. You know what I'm saying? Oh, why you want to kill a stream? Because you mad as you killing it? You mad because we speaking the truth? You know, people always want to shut the truth down, man. They don't ever want to let the people hear the truth, man. Why you mad, big titties? The Celtics winning right now? If the Celtics beat the 76ers with no whatchamacallit, that should be a little bit disgraceful. The 76ers talked all that trash, though. They was talking all that noise like they really didn't made it.
Damn, it's 3-1 in terms of their series.
Yeah, they could have. They could have.
It's over for y'all.
Yeah, they could have swept them last time.
At least they got to make it to the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They get to look forward to having, some good seasons, from here on out. It's just that it wasn't gonna happen this year.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's halftime right now. So I mean, they ain't too far out. 9 points ain't insurmountable, but shit. Celtics just finished on a 19-6 run. Oh, okay. So they just went on a run. That's why they took that lead like that.
What is the alt left? What is that? Is that a political term?
Yeah. I mean,
I heard them saying that shit on American Horror Story. The one with old buddy that plays Quicksilver in the X-Men movies. Mm-hmm. Like he like a Trump supporter and shit. Yeah. He morphed everybody in the town into some crazy shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was doing some crazy shit in that damn show, bro.
Yeah.
It's just like
basically, yeah. Your alt left.
That's
is
what they used to say. The alt left.
Yeah, your alt left is your opposition to the alt right. Your Antifas and your, people subscribing to these far extreme ideologies. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy thing is, I thought that shit was just a joke, but you'll be surprised how many people, shit both ways, alt left, alt right, how many people really subscribe to some of these very extreme
dude that be on the that be talking Dan Shapiro or something like that. Like I heard him use that damn term.
Okay. You know Ben Shapiro? Or
Ben Shapiro. Yeah, Ben Shapiro. Yeah,
Ben
Ben Shapiro. Yeah. When he talks about race related issues, I hate it. But when he talks about like transgender, when he talks about other laws, and when he talks about shit like that, then I'll be like, I'll be listening.
But see, that's the thing. That's the thing too. And like I said, this is getting a little bit political. We ain't gonna go too far into it. But that's why I say, man, honestly, that's why I have a lot more conservative leaning views with certain things. When the race thing, because it does become sensitive, and because especially when it's not somebody who looks like you, can become a thing. But if you hear certain shit and you really listen to certain things, and you combine that, not just listening to one opinion though, because that's what a lot of people only see, that one perspective, and they feel like that's the end all be all. Some of these guys can be right about some things, some of these other things they may not be as familiar with, and some of these things they don't know what the fuck they talking about. But you take the gems, like you say, when he talks about, like with the transgender issues and other issues, it's other little political issues, like things like that I say that I also agree with. But then there may be certain race related things, and there may be certain aspects of it that I can see where you coming from. If I put your shoes on, I can understand your perspective. But then you'd have to put my shoes on to kind of understand the situation ain't just literally black and white.
We live in real life, bro. We know that we don't have.
Yeah. So Honcho, tell the titties joke. Now, I'm saving the titties joke. We just got to say the titties joke till it's gonna have to marinate in the sauce for a while. But when we play Dallas, hey, it's gonna it's gonna surface. Just y'all remind me. Y'all know I be puffing a little bit, so sometimes I forget some shit. But just when I see Dallas again, I ain't gonna forget that bitch. I'm gonna make sure to execute that joke. Trust me, it's gonna be a good one. All right, out left, blah blah blah.
Jason Witten definitely. Jason Witten. I guarantee you, he won't get in the Hall of Fame before Andre Johnson.
No, you tripping.
I guarantee you that. Mark my motherfucking words,
man. So tell me about them. Because the Cowboys, they love talking about their rings and all that good stuff. Tell me about the rings Jason Witten got.
They talking about shit they used to own.
Yeah,
they talking about shit that do and older. 25 and younger, never seen, but they've been supporting the contract. Mm-hmm. Like, you have to go back and go watch archive video if you want to see a championship. And even before the 90s, they didn't win one until the late 70s when Roger Staubach was the quarterback. Like, come on, bro. Like, And when they won. It took decades to do it.
Them motherfuckers, like I say, the Cowboys. The reason they got the ones they did when they had that little so-so streak, if you want to call it, is because they bought them hoes. And the reason a lot of that shit was grandfathered in. That's why they changed the whole free agency rules and shit like that, because of what the Cowboys was doing. They were just basically going out and buying motherfucking me championships on the cool. And so once that shit changed, once that rule got adjusted, you have not seen the Cowboys sniff a motherfucking Super Bowl. When you could buy them, cool. It was when Jerry Jones figured for shit, I'll just spend enough money to do what I gotta do. You know what I'm saying? What do you say?
What the fuck are you talking about? How can you be a first ballot Hall of Famer with 2 playoff wins?
Wow.
He's won the division. He's won 3 times. Wow. Over a 12, 13-year career. Like, Tony Romo was boo-boo. Don't get me wrong. He was an efficient passer. He definitely passed the ball, but he wasn't clutch nowhere near when you needed him.
So look, you might be big titties, but they saggy.
He was losing the dudes he was losing the dudes who were out of the league like 4 years after he became starting quarterbacks. Like RG3 smashed him the year he got to the league. Like I remember what they did. I remember watching that and watching my homeboy like lose his shit in the very last game of the season when they played the Redskins in Landover, and they won that game and they didn't go to the playoffs. That was the funniest shit to me. It's nothing else. It's nothing worse than seeing, like, it's bad to see Tom Brady lose, but it's something else to actually like hate Dallas fans, because it's the fans we hate, not so much the team. It's the fans. Exactly. And the fans are delusional. The fans actually think they're doing something that they haven't continued to do since the last time they've done it, which was over how much? Was like 26 years ago.
He's a first ballot for being the best undrafted player ever. Okay.
Oh my God! No, he's not the best undrafted player ever.
Look, where's the garage? Wink, you got the keys to the garage? I lost the keys to the garage, man.
Bro, I got a Humvee that's pulling in right now, bro, and we got it loaded with diesel.
Okay.
To the brim, like it's spilling out and everything. Just make sure that I get to take you off, and make sure that you got that that you got the window down just enough so I can put the hose in the crack. Yeah,
exactly. Then I'm gonna hit you with one of them Kush Den thing. You don't know about that Kush Den, but I'm gonna bring you a glass of warm milk so you can enjoy that while you sit in the garage and
let's
just
be real.
About your thoughts.
Let's be real. No, let's be real. Let's just, because somebody just said it, but let's just be real, bro. Unless y'all had a Hall of Fame coach, y'all never won a championship. Tom Landry and Jimmy Johnson, an old boy who just happened to inherit the team after because Jerry Jones couldn't handle who was the real truth, you know what I'm saying? So he had to get him up out of there. And, so at the end of the day, unless y'all had a Hall of Fame coach, y'all have never won anything. Y'all have to have that. And I said that a few years ago. I was like, without a Hall of Fame coach, y'all ain't shit. You really think y'all gonna do it with Jason Garrett as the head coach?
Exactly, El Lobo. Y'all gonna have Parcells to go Cam Parcells for Garrett. Now that's exactly. That tells you what's going on. The thing is, Jerry Jones don't want somebody who's gonna stand up to him. You know what I'm saying? He don't want somebody who's gonna go and say like who gonna challenge his authority. And so that's why he gonna run Parcells up out of there. Garrett just a yes man. You know what I'm saying? Garrett gonna do whatever he say, man.
They don't call him Clipboard Jesus the Clapper for nothing. He earned that dick.
Exactly. And man, look, and I want to talk about that real quick. I keep saying we're gonna slide up out of here, but the rings argument is moot, honestly, dog, because you're talking about a team game, especially a game like football. You know what I'm saying? The rings, a quarterback. I think a quarterback. The rings have more weight for a quarterback than I think for other players, because the quarterback controls it all. It's really on their shoulder. Right. But when I'm just talking about sports in general, because did you see Barkley and Shaq get into it?
No.
Oh man, if you get a chance, check that shit out, because basically they was beefing a little bit after the I don't know, was it after the Warriors game or after the Rocks game? I don't watch them when they talk. I really can't stand the national beat like they. I really got issue with them. And so basically, they were talking about the Toronto Raptors game, and basically Charles Barkley was saying, well, man, in this day and age, you as a coach, you have to have a relationship with your star player. You know what I'm saying? Right. With your star player, you have to have a relationship with him. Shaq's, you out here babying, and he's doing this, and if you need to be benched, you need to be benched. When I was in Miami with me and Pat Riley didn't see eye to eye, but, we got it done. And then Charles was like, well, shit, you wasn't a star player in Miami. D. Wade was, you know what I mean? Like, so, and then here comes Shaq, rings, Chuck, I got the rings, so I got, and Shaq in there crowd like, man, he's like, so basically because you don't have a valid justification.
They didn't win because of you.
Exactly.
They won because of D Wade.
But yeah, but then Charles got him. He's like, well, guess what? He's like, I ain't got no rings. So I ain't had nobody carry me to the motherfucking playoffs. You know what I'm saying? I ain't have Kobe to carry me. I ain't have D Wade to carry me. But Finals MVP though. Finals MVP. But look who you played against, dog. Like, look who Shaq played. Look who Shaq played against, and you know what I'm saying? And try to show. I'm serious. Like, I mean, he really like it was just. I mean, I'm honest. Like, I've been saying this about Shaq forever. It's not even just on some new shit. Shaq benefited.
Shaq got a big man complex.
Yeah,
he's got a big man complex because he feels he's so much bigger than other normal people around. Guy his whole life, niggas, but he forgot. Barkley scooped his thick ass up and slammed him in that basketball game.
Exactly.
Years ago, like, don't think that you won't get your big ass. You ain't Steel, bro.
Man,
you are not Kazam. You ain't Shaq Fu either.
I think he believe all this shit. I really do think Shaq believe all the shit that he did. He really believe that just because he bigger than motherfuckers, that motherfuckers. Man, I catch a square with Shaq with the quickness, dog. I wouldn't think twice about that shit. Shaq can't. Y'all how many times Shaq has missed punches in the NBA?
Aerosmith, yeah, he can't even punch, bro. He ain't never connected with no punch. He done been in several fights.
Exactly. I've seen him place his hand on somebody, basically to square it off the target. So if you got your hand on, you have your distance judged. You know exactly what you basically where you got to go to connect.
Now, bro, Sean Kemp, motherfucking Kevin Garnett, and man, bro, I could think of so many. This would have beat the brakes off.
Man, early Hakeem, Hakeem when he first got in the league,
middle world peace.
Oh yeah,
Artest would have slayed that thing, bro. Artest is by far one of the most, bro. Like the boy that used to play for New
shit.
The Knicks. Fuck. Matter of fact, he just got kicked out of a game. Like Charles. Fuck. What's his name? He used to kick it. Time.
Man, you cutting in a little bit out. You say Charles? Somebody? I'm trying to think.
Man, I'm trying to think.
Not Oakley.
New York.
You talking about Oakley? You talking about Oakley? You talking about Oakley? Oh, you talking about because you got kicked out? You're the old school guy. I thought you were somebody who's playing right now. Okay, yeah.
Breaks off of Shaq.
Oh yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. Them like Shaq caught that softer, just like when the stitch started softening up. You know what I'm saying? That old school, them motherfuckers was fighting on the court. It wasn't nobody get kicked out.
I think if it came down to it, Patrick Ewing would beat, but Shaq was the better basketball player. Yeah. I think basketball and outside of basketball, bro, Olajuwon, bro, would probably beat the brakes off of him.
Oh, man,
oh my God, bro, he'll turn into against Shaq ass. Yeah. And then make him fall over. Like he wouldn't even have to really place his hands on. He just gonna act like he's shaking his big. He could do that against guys like soft ass dudes like David Robinson and George Mears saying dominate y'all.
Matt Geiger.
Matt Geiger. Yeah. Vladi Diva.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That dude used to go against some McCullough and shit like that. Big ass goofball motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Brock Osweiler versus Shaq.
You didn't dominate real dudes. You didn't even dominate you. You couldn't dominate Yao Ming when Yao Ming
That's what I'm saying. When it was any other big that was decent, Shaq had nothing for it. I mean, decent, had a basic skill set. Yao Ming, again, you saw he ain't had nothing for Hakeem. But when you had those guys, he had a lot. It was that early 2000s. There was a period where the center position kind of died a little bit, and it wasn't like there were big guys in the league, 7-footers, but they weren't necessarily threats. They weren't dominating the paint. They were just 7-foot tall dudes, and they were just in the league strictly because of their height. You know what I'm saying?
I think Sprewell mop his ass.
No, yeah.
Like, honestly, bro, like I done seen Sprewell and get in all kind of fights, bro. Like, I don't even think, bro, Michael Jordan honestly could put hands on that boy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even even sugarcoated. Like. I mean, dudes out here get his boy a whole lot of issues.
Yeah,
You
that's
know what I'm saying?
He just talking crazy because he know, but a lot of the basketball players, man, they know that people gonna come and get between them, and they gonna stop all the shit. So they bump a lot, but they really don't be about. A lot of them motherfuckers don't be about that action, dog. I'm trying to think who is
Only the Cowboys would keep Jason Garrett the head coach. Only the Cowboys would fucking pay Tony Romo $100 million, and we know he couldn't stay on the field.
Man, it was something you said
playoff games.
earlier about Brian when you mentioned we were talking about how the Texans are looked at outside of Houston. You were talking about you say there, and it's good because it's a perspective from somebody outside the city that they're looked at like Atlanta, or you mentioned another team, but teams that they got the talent and they can do it, but the fact is that they haven't proved it. And it's about we know that they could do something, but they got to prove it. So I see where you're coming from with that. And I mean, that's really it. I mean, you can't give people props for potential. I mean, that's the truth. If you ain't proved shit, then you ain't shit. You are what your record says you are. Rasheed Wallace was a fool, but that whole Detroit team. Rasheed, Ben Wallace, motherfucker. Them motherfuckers was a fool. Yeah. Ben Wallace was a big motherfucker. That motherfucker was playing no games with nobody.
Yeah. Nope. Not at all.
I agree. He definitely says we what was the phrase he used? I forgot how he said it when he was talking about the Texans on Hard Knocks. B.O.B.
When he was talking about what?
When he was talking about the Texans, how we're viewed outside. I forget he said like that.
He was like, just so you know that we have this team has no respect in it. Turn on your TV. Nobody's talking about the Houston Texans. Yeah. He was like, because nobody thinks we're gonna win, and the disrespect that they're giving our quarterbacks, I'm tired of that too. All these guys are the guys that I wanted. When you fucking guys get in that room tomorrow, you better be ready to fucking go.
Hey, Zach Randolph a dog, babe. Hey, Zach Randolph a real one. You ever play no game with Zach? Zach ain't playing no games. Zach, you see what he had with Boogie. Boogie ain't want no smoke with Zach Randolph. Boogie be out there bullying niggas. You know what I'm saying? But Zach cut that shit short with the quickness, niggas. He said, I bully the bullies and shit. I would say, man, he ain't want no smoke, man. But this team is 12-392 in franchise history. Stop hiding. But man, with that being said, man, let me go wrap this thing up again. We go slide into the Kush there at 9 o'clock. If y'all want to continue having some good, enjoyable conversation along the lines of. Because this has been a halfway in the den, because we did talk about some off the wall shit in here. But if y'all enjoy this type of conversation, this is what the den is basically. But it's just about everything. My card
and said this was the best show I did since I've been on it.
Yes, that's what's happening. So we definitely go, look, Heidi showing love, what? But yeah, we definitely gonna show up in the den. We're gonna keep the conversation going. We're gonna talk BBWs, we're gonna talk big girls, we're gonna talk whatever y'all want to. Y'all know how the Kush deal goes. We always put a topic on that bitch, and it don't ever be the fucking topic. It turned into 100 other. We talk about
I think it just might talk alone, but I think this one you can probably talk about people who have preferences.
Oh yeah,
there's gonna be able to.
Yeah, definitely. Ain't no cushion about that. Oh yeah, I forgot it. Hey, while ago, I put 2.5 for you. I hit that bitch 2 times for you, man. We're talking about what makes a serial killer. That's a very interesting conversation too. It's some factors that go into that.
Honestly, we can't say because a serial killer. I say a killer that's like a close relative, like a brother, your daddy, or something. Yeah. Main shit, you know what I'm saying? Put her ass on blast, and that's the only way I think you can easily identify one of your closest friends, somebody you have to know, grew up with, thick and thin. That's the only way, because the way you get tricked on the situation like that, bro. Like when you look at the dudes that they say is notable, they're killing people like Jeffrey Dahmer and Ted Bundy's crazy ass, and he was out here, frolicking and hopping from coast to coast and smashing bitches, pretending like he was a librarian. Like, this is the dude right here, bro. Like, he escaped jail twice. Man. Like, you don't expect a motherfucker that looks like Ted Bundy to have that type of prowess, but he did. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And he enjoyed raping every woman that he did, you know what I'm saying? Crazy. But then he had to put that diaper on and come to judgment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the fun was over. You know, they had to pack that boy with all kind of, you know, shit so he didn't poop himself too bad, you know. But, you know, he did it anyway.
Yeah, he was out there. That boy was out there clocking hoes in the head with hammers and shit. He was doing a bunch. He was, that boy.
Man,
was
it's
wild,
a scene in the movie that's so funny, bro. It's a scene in the old school movie that came out like 2001, 2002, some shit like that.
I think I seen that
bro,
with you, dog.
It's a point where he picked this chick up nigga, off the street. And she was like, yeah, how was he doing? She was like, where you going? He was like, I'm from around this way or whatever. And then he just looked off out of nowhere. He was like, oh, shit, look at that. And nigga, she tried to look, and he just hit her in the face.
Man, I know what you. No, it was look. Shout out to Real Family. If any of my partners they put me on that shit, because I'm like, they was watching this shit. I'm like, man, y'all watching some crazy tip. They're like, man, it's not because of tip. They're like, this movie is fucking funny, dog. Like, they like, you got to watch how I shot. I was like, I started watching that shit. I was like, oh my god, that shit was hilarious, man.
Yeah, that motherfucker was outside jacking off in front of his next victim's house and shit.
Big titties,
dog. Motherfucker
was
like, you again.
His name is Dakota, all right? You don't get no nickname if you trash.
Oh,
his name is Dakota, all right? Rain. His name is Rain. Rain Dakota. You know what I'm saying? So
that's his name.
Exactly. So, man, we're going to slide up out of here, man. I appreciate y'all. Like I said, we're going to slide in the den, like I say, about 15 minutes here at 9 Central Time. We're going to talk about a variety of things.
Order some Chinese food.
Oh, you finna get to the truck that fell through?
Man, no, they ain't show up, so I'm finna order some Chinese food.
No, that's
I ain't going no motherfucking well.
Shit, that's what it is. Well, that's a BET, man. Like I said, with that being said, man, Sauce Nation, I appreciate each and every one of y'all, man. I appreciate the love. Everybody who came through, held it down for the hour and some change. Again, we'll be in the Big Titties. Keep trying. You try, and I give you an E for effort, Big Titties, man. You know what I'm saying? But you you keep on working at it. You keep honing your craft, man. You'll almost be there. You know, you'll almost be there. Now that was a little bit funnier. You almost had something. Now you're a little bit funnier with that one. But with that being said, man, we're gonna chunk up the deuce. I want to say shout out to Wink, man. I appreciate you following through, holding it down for another great Wink Wednesday. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And we'll be doing it again soon. But with that being said, putting two in the air. You know what I'm saying? Chunking up a pair, and we out. Sauce Nation, y'all be cool like y'all be cool, and stay saucy.